Hello and welcome. My name is Michelle. I am your emotional resilience coach, and today we are going to chat about ways and means in which we can take our control back when in a social situation. There is nothing that triggers a codependent or a person who suffers from CPTSD more than having their control taken away from them. I know for me, it makes me want to rage. And I think it obviously stems back from my childhood when I went through years and years of abuse, where I didn't have a voice, where I wasn't able to have my own back, where I wasn't able to speak up for myself. Now, in today's day, I am not in that situation anymore, but obviously there are certain times, places, people, smells, things that we don't always know what's going to come up that is going to trigger us into these states of overwhelm. These states of fear, these states of, oh my gosh, get me out of this now. So, what do we do? First things first is we need to know and acknowledge the only thing we can control is ourselves. So we need to look after ourselves. And when I say that, I'm not talking about spending the day at a spa, even though that must be amazing and really nice and fun. I'm not talking about getting our nails done weekly or any of these things. What I'm talking about is the very, very basics that we can do. Things like moving our body, even if it is just a little bit every day. A walk in nature. If that feels too overwhelming, walk around your garden a couple of times. If you don't have a garden, see if you can do some yoga, if you can just stretch your body. Ways and means in which we can move our body helps us feel better. Nutrition is so important. I know, and there's nothing greater than just having a pig out on junk food. The problem is that afterwards, often, or the next day or two, we feel like junk, we feel heavy, we feel tired. Make sure that you give your body the right nutrients. Drink a lot of water and get enough rest. Kind of figure out what's going on with your body. Do you need to adjust your sleep patterns? I read a quote recently which really resonated with me, which says the difference between despair and hope is a good night's rest. I remember growing up, I remember the fighting, the screaming, the shouting, the trauma. I remember the absolutely exhausted feeling, the nausea, that heaviness that descends upon you. And I remember lying in my bed, listening to all the chaos going on around me and feeling that state of utter despair. Eventually being able to sleep, and if and when we're lucky enough to have a good night's sleep or a good couple of hours rest in us, to wake up and feel like there is perhaps hope. It is a new day. Maybe something will be better or different or anything. It's so important that we live from a place of hope. Hope allows us to know that we have control of our future. We have control of things that are going to happen to a degree or not happen to a degree, because we can control ourselves. We can control the way we respond. We can get better at managing our triggers, our emotions, and our thoughts. So what happens if you're in a situation, perhaps it is a social situation, and you are feeling overwhelmed? Maybe you are at a wedding, or you are at a birthday party, or some function where something happens and you get triggered. Or perhaps there is somebody there that you know is going to trigger you. Or maybe you've had a late night and maybe you haven't been looking after yourself as well as you know you could have, and your fuse is really, really short, and so you get irritated or you get triggered or you get overwhelmed really, really quickly. The circumstances are what they are. How do we manage ourselves in these moments where it feels like it is just too much? Now, one of the things that I have come up with of late is to signal my husband that I need a way out. Now, you're going to find something that resonates with you. It could be moving your handbag from one shoulder to the other. Maybe you want to pull on your ear a couple of times or rub your nose. My husband joked and said, make sure you don't actually have an itchy nose or we'll be out of there and you were fine. Something that you can pre-decide with each other, maybe a code word. I always find code words for me are a little bit difficult because I don't know how to put them in a sentence or I forget them. Or maybe you want to go and you go to your partner and you put your hand on your partner's shoulder and your code is going to be tap 3 times, we're out of here. Something that you know can help you, that you can both remember, that if you are in the state where you feel this is too much for me, I need a way out and I need a way out now, you can have that opportunity to give your message across. You can show the person that you're with, it's time now. Maybe you're going to be somewhere alone and you need an exit route. You know, WhatsApp somebody, please call me. Make an excuse, something. There are ways and means in which we can take our power back so that we don't feel like we are the victims in our situations, that we have no choices, that we just have to suck it up and deal with it. And that's something I used to hear so often is some things you just have to suck up and deal with. And to a degree, some things maybe absolutely, perhaps there's a meeting that you can't get out of and you have to stay in. But don't forget that what separates us from staying as a victim to taking our power back is seeing and acknowledging that we really do have choices. Our choices are within ourselves, within our own realm. Bring it back to what can I do to help myself in this particular situation. Let me know in the comments below, is there a signal that you have with a partner, or is there a signal you are excited about implementing in your own life when you're in these situations that just feel horrifying, scary, overwhelming? Maybe you get butterflies in your stomach and you feel nauseous and you just need to get out. These are some great tools that make me feel that I can go into social situations stronger, more prepared, feeling safer, and feeling that if it does get to a point where it's too much, I can leave. Let me know your thoughts and don't forget to come over to Instagram and say hi to me then. Have an empowered day.